everyone, this is Excel Chapter 1, Pause and Practice number 2. It's on E1-28. We're continuing to work on the Paradise Lakes Resort. And so in this Pause and Practice, we are going to add in a formula, copy it. We're going to talk a little bit about formulas and functions and what's the difference, the data types that you can have in Excel, and then we're going to put some styles on the text so it starts to look a little nicer. So the first thing is just some vocabulary, and let me just do it here. So we already talked about what is a label, and a label is really as alphanumeric. So that could be letters, numbers, special characters. It is not, you cannot do math. Okay, so there's no numeric value to it. A value could be, it could be a number, and it could be letters based on what the contents is. You can do math, right? And so it has a place on the number line. Then there are formulas, and formulas begin with an equal sign. And so this is your mathematical formulas, right? So this plus this minus that. And then there are functions. And functions also begin with an equal sign, but they always have a function name next to it. So like sum, and they always have an open and closed parentheses. Most functions have something in between there. Okay, that's going to give me an error because I don't have anything in there. You know what, let me do one that doesn't. Let's do today, open, close. So it begins with an equal because it really is a formula, but it's a specialized formula. And so after the equal, it has the function name, and even if it's empty, it has an open and closed parentheses, right? So there's today's date. So it is also a math formula, and it's specialized, right? So it's uses for formulas that are used very, very frequently, or they are so complex that they're difficult to do and maintain manually, right? So labels, values, formulas, and functions, right? So what we're going to look at now is we're going to go to B10, and remember that's where we deleted that formula that added, and we're going to use the function called AutoSum. So AutoSum, and here's the thing, guys, only use the AutoSum when you are adding a group of numbers. The number one pet peeve I have when I get new people using Excel is they put the word sum in front of everything. I'm subtracting these two numbers, but I'm putting sum in front of it. You only use sum when you are adding a group of numbers. So in this case, we do. We want to add this group of numbers. So when you begin a formula, it's always the same. You want to make sure that your active cell is where the answer is going to go. So you visually want to say, okay, this is where I want my total to go. AutoSum, or sum, the sum function, is used so frequently that it gets its own little button. And so it's this funny looking E, which is the Greek sigma, which means summation, right? So the AutoSum, I can just click right on there. I don't have to do the arrow, I can just click right there. And I get this running ants, okay? And the running ants are colored, they're blue. And that blue matches the range that it's saying I'm trying to add. So you can visually say, okay, is this what I'm trying to add? And in this case, Excel got it right. It is surrounding, the little marquee is surrounding all of the cells that I am going to add. So the way that I read this is sum B5 through, and so like I take that colon as the word through when I do it, B5 through B9. That's what I want. Here is a perfect time to use the check mark, because look, I stay in the same cell, right? And because I'm in the same cell, I can use this magic little box, which is called the data fill handle, right? So I'm going to come right up here, get that thin crosshair, no arrowheads, drag it. Remember, you got to wait for it, and then it pops in. Go all the way across, let go, and that formula, B5 through B9, is copied, but now it's C5, D5, right? So it automatically adjusted. Sweet, that was nice. So you put one formula in, and it allowed you to copy it across. The reason it allows is through something called relative cell addressing, and I'm just going to put a little nugget out there for you now, because we're going to look at it later in another chapter. But this is not really saying B5 through B9. It's saying, hey, in this column go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells above me, and add together, same column, 1 cell above me. So I can take that formula and I can copy it anywhere. It's going to do the same thing. Take 5 cells above me through 1 cell above me and add the contents. That's called a relative. Relative to where the answer is. Just tuck that away. We'll worry about it later. All right, so I'm going to do a save because I got that in there. All right, so now I want to calculate the sales categories, right? So let's go over here to J5. So this is going to show you another thing. So this is going to be in J5. I'm down too far. Okay, so J5. So I want to do that same thing. I want to add these numbers across, right? So I'm going to do auto sum. Okay, so Excel says, okay, here's some numbers, B through I. Well, really, it's not B through I, right? It's only B through H. So the technique that I use is I just reselect. So I go back to B, and you want to make sure that your mouse is not the arrowhead, but the American Red Cross. Click, hold, and drag, and re-highlight what you really want to add, right? I really only want to go to H. Check mark it. Take that contents, drag it down, and now we have entered that one formula in, and we were able to copy it down, and it's perfect. Well, almost perfect. So do you see this blank column? This is really not a good thing in Excel. You really want to keep all your columns and your rows kind of snug, unless they really are about something different. But all of this is about one thing. So you really just want it to be next to each other. So we want to move these over, right? So we can do that. We know how to do that now. So I'm going to click and drag and select. Always begin by, it's already typed in, so I need to select it. So I start I5 through I10. I've got my range selected correctly. I've got my green. Now I'm going to go to that, remember that edge with the arrowheads is a move. It's a move, so I can use that. Click and drag over one, and I was able to move it. Because the formula only went through 8, it didn't adjust it. It's good. We were able to get rid of. Now another technique would have been to delete column I, but this worked perfect. So right above here now in I4, we're going to put the word total, okay, and hit enter. I'm going to do a save because now I have my formulas in there. Everything's looking good. So I am on step number 8 on page 29. So now we're going to start looking at some formatting. And so I'm going to select A1. And on my home, there's a styles. Now styles here is a little bit different than Word. So I'm going to bring my gallery open using the More key. And this style is going to be a title, right? So, and you look as you go through, do you see how my words are changing? Find title and click on it. So now this A1 has taken on the style of the title. Let's do A2, select the cell, open up the style gallery, and find heading 2. There it is, perfect. Let's do A10 through I10. So A10 through I10, so that's this total row. We're going to bring the style gallery down, and we're going to find the total. Okay, right? You see how that works? Okay, so now we're going to do a little tricky thing, and then we're going to stop the movie at the end of this. So I need to select the range A4 through A10. A4 through A10. And I want to pick these cells, right? But they're not in a rectangle. So in Excel, when you want to select what's considered non-adjacent cells, you must use your control key. So I'm going to put my control key down. I'm holding it the whole time. And now I can come across and select, let me make sure I'm selecting the right, B4 through I4. Let go of my control, let go of my mouse. So now I have non-adjacent cells selected, and I can apply a same style to it. So we're going to go to the gallery. We're going to pick 20% accent 1, this blue. Okay, we're going to click on that, and then I'm going to, okay, just make sure I did the right thing here. 20% accent, right, okay. Click out of it, and it shows you the cells, the colors. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the movie here. We'll pick up with step 9. Thank you.